with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Everyone doing okay, kind of just moving on down the road, right? Moving through life. Everything seems to be okay on this Tuesday. Boy, it's interesting how things have changed. The experts out there who are all of a sudden now not surprised at all that there was not a firing yesterday. I love that in the business. We are so petrified of being wrong. And I'm still shocked. Are you kidding me? They really didn't fire anyone after getting blown out 52-6. But in the biz, and I'm not saying colleagues here at 1010XL, I'm just saying in general, you can't ever admit to the listener that maybe you're wrong here. My way of looking at it would be this. If Doug Peterson was fired yesterday, everyone would have said, I'm not surprised. Yeah, it had to happen. I mean, 52-6. They're 2-9. This was supposed to be the best team ever assembled. But it becomes so convenient when the firing doesn't happen to say, yeah, I mean, what good is it right now? You still got a bye week. You got 6 games. What if you promote from within and all of a sudden an interim coach catches lightning in a bottle, and then all of a sudden it becomes kind of a confusing aspect as to whether or not promote from within or go outside and bring in a head coach. It's amazing, man. I thought the spin only worked in politics. It works right here in Jacksonville, Florida. All right, it's good to have you with us. We are less than 1 hour away from live phone calls. I never say I can't wait for. I never say get rid of this Tuesday, get rid of the 6 o'clock hour because I want it to be the 7 o'clock hour. But I kind of feel that a little bit today because right now I am feeling a tremendous amount of energy that is just oozing all the way through the microphone into my cans. That's a term for headset or headsets in the business. And tonight it is on you, Jaguar fans, to speak up. Again, we will do that in 1 hour. It's the same number as our text line, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures, 641-1010. That is the best way to get in. We had a firing today. Joe Douglas, out with the New York Jets. 30-64, replaced by Phil Savage. Of course, Joe Douglas fired former Jaguar linebackers coach Robert Saleh earlier this year. No winning seasons for Joe Douglas. Right? No playoff appearances for Joe Douglas. He went out and got maybe the best corner in the NFL in Sauce Gardner, drafted him. Right? Went out and got Breece Hall. Went out and got Garrett Wilson. Went out, made a huge trade for Aaron Rodgers. Went out, made a huge trade for Devontae Adams. Went out, made a huge trade for Hassan Reddick. Went out and drafted Michael Carter. Went out and drafted Florida State's Jermaine Johnson. Went out and drafted Will McDonald. Went out and drafted Braylon Allen. I mean, he made some very, very good decisions. He's also responsible for hiring Robert Saleh. He's also responsible for drafting Zach Wilson. In New York, where they haven't won anything since Joe Namath, hung out in his banana hammock back in 1970 with Brent Musburger, poolside, when he gave the guarantee. When's the last time the New York Jets have won anything? Again, they are going to go through a complete rebuild. The Jaguars, which is amazing, not only do they really screw things up when they attempt to hire a new coach, again, the Mickey Mouse scenario of let's bring in Peterson, bring in Caldwell, there's really nothing going on, let's let 5 weeks pass until we circle back and get Doug Peterson. I mean, it was a joke. You remember that 3 years ago. It was just an awful process as far as showing who was in control of this franchise, going out, identifying, and then hiring the right guy for the job. So the Jaguars have screwed that up time and again. The Jaguars are so hilarious that they also screw up firings. Okay? I mean, they really do. You don't fire a guy and then put him on the plane like they did to Gus Bradley years ago. It was one of the most awkward situations I've ever been a part of. Watching Gus Bradley walk up and down the aisle saying thank you and goodbye to everyone. Have enough class to at least do that when you land back in Duval, okay? But that is the way that this organization went about that a couple of years ago. You had to get a response from Jim Woodcock, who was the publicist for Shad Khan, because Diana Rossini and her error-filled or flat-out just wrong report that Doug Peterson was going to be fired after the game. Remember that? When we finally got a statement? Usually when Shad talks, he's got to be in London, right? But this time it came from parts unknown. And it came from Jim Woodcock, who came out and said the ESPN report with Diana Rossini that Doug Marrone is going to be relieved of his duties as the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars are wrong. And in a lot of circles, he stayed for another year. I mean, what? To almost prove that report was wrong. I kidded today. I sent a tweet to Diana Rossini, and I'm like, can you say that Doug Peterson is going to get fired if that's the case? And you'll take one for the team, and you're wrong again. Maybe we can get something from the combination of Shad Khan and Jim Woodcock. Instead, it's just crickets. Instead, it's just life continues. It's another day here in Duval. So they don't even know how to handle the firing as opposed to handling the hiring. By the way, this just in. The Boston Bruins. They just fired Jim Montgomery less than an hour ago. Boston was blown out last night at home, 5-1 by Columbus. Okay? Jim Montgomery's record for the Boston Bruins, 140, 40, and 23. Let me repeat that. 140, 40, in 23. But this organization said, we are not headed in the right direction. We are 8-9 this year. The fans were booing during the third period of the game a night ago. This organization, the very next day, again, says goodbye to a guy who's 140 and 40. I mean, this is like George Steinbrenner firing the late Dick Hauser after Dick Hauser won 102 baseball games in one season. This is an organization that is going to try to fix it. Now, they made a huge mistake, some will say, 3 years ago when they fired former Jacksonville Lizard Kings coach Bruce Cassidy at the end of the 2022 season because veterans said that Bruce was working him too hard in practice and they weren't getting along. So they said goodbye to him. What happened? They brought in Jim Montgomery, set the record for the best ever regular season mark in NHL history before they were outed by the Florida Panthers. We all remember that. Bruce Cassidy, oh, by the way, in the same year, went to Las Vegas and won the Stanley Cup. The Boston Bruins make the playoffs yearly. It's a different world. More playoff teams make it in the NHL and the NBA, we know, than the NFL. At least a couple more, because the NFL keeps expanding, and they're probably going to do the same thing again. They've got rid of the two teams with a bye. It's only one team with a bye now. Hey, we're getting extra wild card games. We love it. The Bruins have only won one Stanley Cup since 1972. So this is a successful franchise, but they still fall short of the major goal. That is to win championships. That's what it's all about in a city like Boston. That's not what it's all about here. Here it's about winning a game. Here it's about having a better record than 500, right? Your acting general manager is 23-39. Your acting coach is 20-25, if that makes any sense. The combination of Bulky and Peterson. So another day, another, very disappointing set of circumstances. And the bottom line is Shad Khan doesn't care what you think. You know who cares what you think or who you think or what you think? I do. JJ does. That's why we're going to open up these phone lines coming up in about, let's make that a little bit more than 50 minutes. We will actually do that, give you an opportunity to call in right here on this Tuesday night. We want to do that each and every Tuesday right here on Into the Night. So Joe Douglas is out. That's another name. And this kind of goes to my conversation yesterday. How good is a GM? How do you rank a guy like Joe Douglas? Again, 30-64. It's a terrible record. Well, it's a terrible franchise. He tried. He failed with a quarterback. A lot of general managers do. He went out and traded for a future Hall of Famer. He went out and traded for another future Hall of Famer in Davante Adams. Okay? He tried to push the right buttons. He fired his coach. He tried to make changes. Joe Douglas, all of a sudden, becomes a guy that is a candidate to be a general manager again in this league. That is what is so different from pursuing a head coach. And again, we talked about it for a couple of minutes last night. We all have our short list for coaches. You like a coach, you don't like a coach. When it comes to general managers, when it comes to front office types, we just do not know. Who's to say that Joe Douglas won't flip the switch and go to another organization? I doubt it would be here in Jacksonville, but goes somewhere else and does have some success. It's very difficult to try to figure out what is best overall for any given organization. And again, you either take a shot at someone who's never done it before, and what I mean by never doing it before is all of these individuals have put in the road work when it comes to evaluating college talent and scouting and then figuring out pro personnel across the league, the other 31 teams, whether it's starters, guys coming up on a contract, guys who could possibly be released because they're overpaid, guys who are backups that could help. I mean, just knowing the entire league, street free agents, etc. Okay? They all put in the work. And they're all good football people. Gene Smith, for what it's worth, and we talked about him a little bit yesterday. He was a terrible general manager, but when he was an understudy, when he had other job titles and was reporting to Shaq Harris or whatever his responsibilities were, he was always thought of as a real good football man. I mean, what if all of a sudden you hear that it's Ethan Waugh on the interim basis? I know you'll drive off the road because your feeling is like my feeling. That is clean house. You want new blood. You don't want any leftovers. You don't want anyone hanging from a franchise that has accepted losing. That's probably the best way to term it. And, we still have audio proof of that from a couple of weeks ago, the game in Philadelphia. When Josh Hines Allen met us and the first thing that came out of his mouth was what a great football game this was, even though we lost, it's like, what? Are you serious? I mean, this isn't Pop Warner. This isn't flag football. You're saying it was a great game. It wasn't a great game. You made mistakes in key situations. You let a game get away that you should have won. A prideful team, a prideful bunch of guys, a prideful organization would be pissed that at that point you would have lost what? Your fifth game by 5 points. But instead it was a great game. No, it's not a great game. Everyone who had to get up and go to work on Monday morning doesn't think it was a great game. But that's the values of this organization. It's a losing organization. So do you promote Ethan Waugh? I don't know. Where are you going to get your guy? Is he untested? Oh, you go to Detroit. Okay. Yeah, I keep seeing the names there. That's automatically going to work, right? How in the hell do we know? You can't just pull over a current general manager. So you go to a failed general manager, right? Or you bring in someone who's never done it before. It's hard, people. It's hard. Maybe Ethan Waugh's a genius. Maybe Joe Douglas is a genius. It didn't work in New York. Wrong example, but it didn't work for Bill Belichick in Cleveland, did it? And some will say it's never worked for Bill Belichick outside of the fact that he did not have Tom Brady as his quarterback. And you know what? If you believe that, if you think that's part of the process, if you think that that is enough for you to not want Bill Belichick here, I'm fine with it if that's your opinion. That Trevor Lawrence is not Tom Brady. Trevor Lawrence doesn't have the mental makeup of Tom Brady. Trevor Lawrence doesn't have the toughness of Tom Brady. Trevor Lawrence doesn't have the leadership qualities of Tom Brady. Tom Brady is the best of all time. It's unfair to compare anyone to Tom Brady. But that is who Bill Belichick had his success with. Belichick was all about bringing in Mac Jones. I mean, you've seen Mac the last 2 weeks. Come on. How many times did I waste valuable airtime over the summer saying, wow, the word out of the building is Jacksonville feels really good that if Trevor goes down with an injury, Mac Jones can win games. Mac Jones can't win games. He's a local kid, and he's a good kid. He can't win. I mean, how many of those passes on Sunday were nowhere near the vicinity of the wide receiver? I mean, it wasn't even close, and it feels like, every ball he threw was a sideline ball, right? I mean, a sideline route. And does Jacksonville even have in their tree patterns where they run across the middle of the field? If it's not Evan Ingram, it's unbelievable. It's so mystifying. So that's what you have. Got a losing organization. And, yeah, you got one that doesn't know how to hire properly. Hell, they don't know how to fire properly. And that was proven again today with what happened in New York and, to a lesser extent, what happened over in Boston. Can you imagine firing a coach that is 140-40? And they did it after getting blown out last night. 5-1. In hockey, that's a major blowout. 52-6 is a blowout, Ballou. No, not for this organization. What you do is you try to clean some things up. You try to work on it. You try to coach better. You try to prepare better. You try to play better. That's what they're selling you. Wow. Fascinating. Just fascinating. All right, opening comments brought to you by Shmunez Vision. Known Dr. Neil Shmunez forever. We're talking about, plus 20 years that I've known him. 8.5 years ago, I went in for a normal checkup. Great day, talking sports, whatever, just shooting the breeze. He's like, buddy, you got a problem. I'm like, I know, I got several problems. He's like, no, I'm serious. He's like, you need something removed from your eye immediately. He explained it to me. He sat down with me. He went in the next morning and cleaned it out. Okay? I've never had a setback. I've never had a problem. If I did not make that appointment, who knows where this would have spread, okay? Same deal could be happening to you. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just spitting out the truth. Why do you let eye examinations go by the wayside? Make an appointment today with the best in town. More than 30 years worth of laser eye surgery experience. If you include Dr. Catherine Shmunez. Maybe a simple process for you, an update for contacts, and bam, you're out the door. You love it. You want to return. There could be more significant injuries and more significant issues, right? Cataract, whatever it could be. They are there for you. And again, they won't appoint to you a surgery counselor, someone who's going to explain things to you who never is part of the operation. Not with Dr. Neil and Dr. Catherine Shmunez. They will sit and explain each and every little thing to you. So check them out. Go to Shmunez Vision online. You can also go to Shmunez Vision on Instagram and get all of the testimonials. All right, coming up next, we'll check in with JJ LaSelva. We'll bring up the college football playoff rankings. We're looking forward to their third installment tonight. Could Boise State actually move into a top 4 seed and get a first-round bye? I mean, what's going on right now in the Big 12? After BYU's lost to Kansas. And, Georgia just loses to Ole Miss, but Georgia explodes right by Mississippi, again proving it doesn't matter what you do on the field. all you need is big blue blood name recognition. And I get it. Georgia beat Tennessee handily. And Mississippi sat through a bye. But they just beat them. They just took care of them. Does wins on the field no longer matter? So we got some college football to get into as well. If you want to join the conversation, the best way to do it is our text line, 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
He is our quarterback savant, and he'll take you inside his mind.
So you can learn more about the science of quarterbacking.
Denny Thompson is the quarterback whisperer. Friday mornings on The Drill. Brought to you by Tyson Sound and Security and George Moore Chevrolet.
This is Mark Nato. My son Justin injured his hand playing baseball for JU. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist performed surgery just a few days later, and within 5 weeks, he was cleared to play in the ASUN baseball tournament. Our family has trusted Southeast Orthopedic Specialist for years. For any orthopedic injury, let Southeast Orthopedic Specialist take care of you too.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Greetings from Daytona, where a band of dreamers took a strip of beach and turned it into a proving ground. The Great American Race, where year after year, greatness is the destination.
Drivers, start your engines, let's go!
So book your experience and soak in 500 miles of history and tradition. The Daytona 500, February 16th, 2025. Secure your seats now at Daytona500.com.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
Attention sports fans, are you ready to take your game to the next level? Look no further than Best Bet. You can bet anywhere, but you'll definitely win here. Experience the thrill of sports like never before. With all the major games broadcasting live on our big screens and a menu stacked with your favorite foods and refreshing drinks, you're sure to find your winning ticket. Visit bestbetjacks.com to learn more. That's bestbetjacks.com. Bet anywhere, win here. Only at Best Bet.
In its final year, we encourage you to help create great futures for young people when you run or walk at Mackenzie's Run, Saturday, November 23rd. Join Boys and Girls Club of Northeast Florida for a 5K and 1 mile fun run through the beautiful stadium course at TPC Sawgrass. Enjoy food, live music, face painting, family fun, and more at our Runners Village. Register at mackenziesrun.org. Mackenzie's 5K and Fun Run, November 23rd. mackenziesrun.org.
Get fishing tips and stories from Captain Kevin
Bite's gonna pick up pretty soon
on the Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show. Brought to you by Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Whoa! Thursday nights at 6
on 1010XL AM.
Hey, Jacksonville Koozies, it's me, Soccer Sam, for Salvatore's Pizza. Rochester, New York's favorite pizza is now open in Jacksonville, Florida, Tapestry Park at the Loft Hotel Plaza. Daily $10 deals. Dine in with beer and wine and delivery at salvatores.com. The famous Formoso family brings Salvatore's Pizza, Rochester's favorite pizza, including our 32-piece sheet pizza for your next event. Go with me, baby. Salvatores.com.
Welcome to Rockville. North America's largest rock festival returns to the Daytona International Speedway in 2025 with Green Day, Korn, Shinedown, and Linkin Park. Plus Bad Omens, Incubus, Good Charlotte, Rob Zombie, Alice in Chains, Pierce the Veil, Marilyn Manson, 3 Days Grace, Sublime, Hailstorm, I Prevail, Three Doors Down, Jimmy Eat World, Motionless in White, Bush, Chevelle, Mudvayne, and so many more. Welcome to Rockville takes over the Daytona International Speedway May 15th to the 18th, 2025. 5 stages, 4 days, and over 150 bands. 4-day, single-day camping and VIP passes on sale now at welcometoRockville.com.
Don't make make a bad call when it comes to servicing your home. Cooling off with a baby pool in the house to fix your air conditioning problem is a bad call. Trying to catch a wave in a flooded bathroom is a bad call. Using a burning electrical panel to make s'mores is a bad call. The next time something goes wrong, make a good call to Donovan.
Whether you need air, electric, or plumbing service, Donovan is always a good call. It's why we've been trusted by our customers for almost 40 years and why you can trust us to deliver fast, reliable service to your home. Donovan, always a good call.
Visit DonovanAC.com today.
Navy Mutual was created by service members for service members, so we know what it means to serve. Our policies have no active duty service restrictions, so you can rest assured that you're covered no matter your duty station, home or abroad. To go even further, we promise that premiums will not be higher for those who serve in dangerous environments, including aviation, diving, or on deployments. Let us help you protect those you love the most. Learn more at NavyMutual.org.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Slow, and I want to talk to you today about having a grateful spirit. As we journey in life, it's so easy to take things for granted, but I want to encourage you to never get tired of thanking God for your blessings. Take time also to thank the people in your life who have and are helping you to become the person you are today. Don't go through life complaining, go through life praising.
To hear more inspirational messages by Reverend Dr. Nicholas Lowe, please visit our website at stjohnthedivine.com.
There are three certainties in life: death, taxes, and if you stay in your home long enough, a new roof. Pick it here for our friends at Lockhart Roofing. Nobody better in Jacksonville. How do I know? They are a local certified Master Elite contractor, and that means they have a GAF Master Elite warranty. That's the best in the roofing industry. In this day and age, don't settle for cheaper discount roofers. Lockhart Roofing has been here for decades. They aren't going anywhere. Call my friends at Lockhart Roofing, 994-3851. That's 994-3851. Lockhart Roofing, Jacksonville's best for Jacksonville people.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. The night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
You just can't have it all, Jacksonville. As a matter of fact, Ballou needs an attitude adjustment. Just accept it, Ballou. It is what it is. The Jaguars are beautiful losers, right? I mean, you get 300 good days a year here in Jacksonville. You get to play golf. You get to eat at the Blue Crab restaurant, Blue Crab Crab House. Just mail it in. Accept it. This team in this organization does not care about winning. They don't care. They accept it. Their star, Josh Allen, what a great game. You just lost, Josh, I know, but it was a great game. It really. Oh, it was. Was it? 52-6. Pass the buck, Ballou. Don't say anything stupid. You've been doing this for 34 years. At this point, just come on. Roll with the punches. Accept it for what it is. This team is what it is. There are more important things to this franchise than winning football games. And that's the truth. There's really no other way to say it. You don't have any leaders. You don't have any alphas. That 2017 team, they had dogs. They had leaders. Of course, the organization screwed it up. That's why Yannick left, Jalen left, Leonard Fournette left. They were bad guys, but you need some bad guys. You need some guys with attitude. Instead, you bring in today's bad guys, Roy Robertson, Harris. They can't play. If you're going to bring in a bad guy, bring in a bad guy who is a phenomenal football player. This team has no alphas. None. Maybe Brian Thomas Jr., maybe Ventrell Miller. I mean, they're basically rookies, right? Miller didn't play a year ago. Offensive line. And that's where it all starts. Anyone who knows anything about football, the identity of your organization is the offensive line. Walker Little didn't allow a pressure on Sunday. Imagine if Trent Baalke right now is probably working on a long-term contract extension for Walker Little. Let's get him signed. Let's get him in. Get that taken care of. I mean, there's still, a tiny possibility that Baalke could be relieved of his duties. I hate it for you people. I do. I just hate it. I mean, the acceptance of losing, being comfortable with losing is the worst. There's no other way to say it. I mean, have you seen anything from anyone where you felt, man, he's wearing it on his sleeve? He's really bothered today. He's going to go home tonight, and he's not going to sleep. No, they're professionals. They've already turned the page. I don't know who's going to fix this, but I just don't. I don't know who's going to fix it. I mean, this in team athletics, the Jaguars have lost more games than any other team in any other league or association in 10 years. It's not even close. And that was going into the year, and they're 2-9 this year. And I am. I'm starting to believe for the first time that maybe you'll do something about it. And I don't advocate it because it's bad for business. I want that place sold out. I want people happy. I want people spending money. I want people smiling. I want to see people slapping backs and kissing babies. That's what I want. I don't want, I'm getting rid of my tickets. Did you see how many Minnesota Viking fans were in the stadium last week? I'm tired of all of that. You're tired of it too. They don't care. They're not going to fix it. They're going to ride this thing out for another 7 weeks. How you doing, JJ LaSelva?
I am great. And to that point, I read a story today. I don't know what local news agency it was. I'd like to give you a shout out, but it was on Twitter. You just read stuff. So I clicked on it, read an article, and to me, my paycheck cash is the same. I'm the Jaguars game day producer here at 1010. I've been doing it for close to 10 years. Like, I get paid the same whether they win or lose. But I read an article today that was really made me like, damn. And it's a guy who owns like a local fan shop, like sports memorabilia and gear. Yeah. And he said foot traffic was down 85%
I believe
this season.
But Jaguars are bad for business.
And that is like killing his business, I'm sure. And I don't even think about stuff like that. I'm not a Jags fan, and I feel for the fans, but like just reading stuff like that, it's like, damn, man. Like, turn this thing around for some of these. Yeah. It sucks for people like that.
I'm really tight with the Miller Lite people, Champion Brands. And Mike Malarkey's son, Shane Malarkey, real good kid. And I was talking with him about it. And he's like, yeah, when the Jags lose, beer sales are really down. I was like, really? I'm like, where I come from in Boston, if your team loses, alcohol sales are up because people are so distraught.
But
people
they're
are
still
so bothered.
watching. That's
right.
the difference. Down here,
it's losing, like, forget about it.
Yeah, you're out of sight, out of mind.
Right.
Like they won't even care, which is way worse than being pissed and drinking too much.
Well, you got a lot of transients. You got guys like me that are from other parts of the country.
So you have to, to get those people to not care about the team that they grew up with, you got to win. And it can't be just once every 10 years. You can't just, remember that Chargers game? Or, remember that Pittsburgh game in 2017? It's got to be more. It can't be like this.
Who's giving
They're
up?
Never going to be able to grow a fan base.
Right.
Like
Who's giving up sooner? is the younger fans, the ones that they wanted, the ones who came here and sat on daddy's lap,
right?
Okay, and who are now first-time professionals. They're younger 20s, mid-20s, maybe starting their own families, and they're professionals, and they're finally earning some bank. That's the people that this franchise has targeted. We know that younger people give up a hell of a lot sooner than people my age. It's our fault. We allowed them to give up. But I read the comments. 30-year season ticket holder, pissed, wants change. But I'll get stuff, hey, I've been a season ticket holder for 2 years. I'm not going to be a season ticket or anything. The younger people are the ones who are abandoning this team in front of the longtime fans. And I'm not telling you what you should do and what you shouldn't do, okay? Times are tough. Money is tough. And this should be the ultimate diversion for you from your daily grind, your professional career, maybe problems in your personal life, whether you go with your family or you go with your cronies for a few hours a week, you break bread, you bend your elbow, and you celebrate a football team. And this team doesn't care about winning. This team doesn't care. Okay? The writing has been on the wall for a long period of time. Mistake-filled moments. And they do nothing to correct it. I feel terrible for small business owners. I feel terrible for people in the city that are hurt by this. Their livelihood is affected by how this team plays on Sunday. And it's one thing to lose. But again, this team doesn't act like they care when they lose. They just go through the motions. Now, I've always been a very emotional guy. I'd love to walk in there and see someone fire a table against, show the people that you're pissed. They're upset. You show them that you care. And who's going to show them? Who? Who's got any emotion on that football team? Name one guy. Jalen had emotion. He was crying on the sideline. Malik had emotion. Remember Malik Jackson calling out others and Calais? They had emotion. Who's got emotion on this team? Chad Muma? Who's got emotion on this team? Trayvon Walker? Who's got emotion on this team? Andre Sisco? I mean, seriously. There's no leaders. There's not one guy that you can tie it around and say, he's going to take us to the next level. He's not going to allow us to lose again. There's not a guy. It may be Brian Thomas Jr. I hope so. It may be Anton Harrison. I hope so. Oh, isn't that brilliant? You're going to bring in a totally new organization, and after 34 starts at right tackle, they're going to make him a left tackle. He's going to have to learn his way through it, right? A new offensive scheme for Trevor Lawrence. Half you people out there think that Trevor's faking an injury. I don't believe that. I think he's hurt. But does he play in 10 days now that Doug Peterson is still your head coach? I don't know. I do not know. Why do I believe totally, as I kind of contradict myself, which you have to when this team loses? You have to be a hypocrite. You have to contradict yourself because it's so damn mystifying. But why do I believe that if Peterson was fired yesterday, we'd already be hearing, oh, Trevor's going to play in a week and a half against you? Why do I believe that?
Feeling better.
Why do I believe that? I don't know that. This is what my gut is telling me. I just want some emotion. I want the people over there to act like they care. That's it. I mean, that's it. Every problem I've ever had in radio, and there, believe it or not, there's only been a couple of incidents. It was always the same thing. You're not putting in the effort. Your work ethic sucks. That's all I am, is effort. day in, day out, whether you like me or dislike me. That is all I care about. And all of my problems have always been based around the fact that either you're interrupting me or you don't put in the effort. You don't act like you care if we have a good show or a bad show. That's how I feel about this Jaguar team. Oh, let me get in and out of the shower before the media comes. Let me get out of here. Get home to my family. My paycheck cleared. Those are your Jaguars, folks. I wish I had better news for you. Should have fired them all yesterday, and they did not. Coming up in less than 20 minutes, we take your phone calls. We do it every Tuesday night at 7 o'clock.
Hey, it's Linda Beaver. Whether you're new to the area or a longtime resident, you deserve the best and shouldn't settle when buying or servicing your car. At Beaver Chevrolet, we have built our reputation on trust. You can trust us to provide the best prices, the best selection, and the best experience. You can trust me. Your neighbors can trust me. Your family can trust me. We will not let you down. Come see us at Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville to let our family take care of yours. Trust me, we're here to wow you.
Jaguars fans, want to meet some of your favorite players? Coke Florida, Publix Supermarkets, and the Jags are giving you the chance. Join 1010XL at Publix, 170 Village Commons Drive, St. Augustine, Tuesday, November 19th at 5. For autographs, pictures, raffles, and more. Get off the sidelines and get to Publix to grab an ice-cold Coca-Cola, Coke Zero Sugar, or any of your favorite Coca-Cola beverages using Publix digital app. The Jaguars and Coke Florida. There's magic when we cheer together at Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Bolt City AC, heating that rules.
Is your AC ready for the holidays? Bolt City Heating and Air ensures your AC stays in tip-top shape. We know that a clean AC is a healthy AC. Upgrade yours for just $96 a month and enjoy free duct cleanings with your new system. Plus, ask about our 0% financing options.
Bolt City AC, we got the crew. Bolt City AC.
Visit BoldCityAC.com.
Prosser here. I've been telling you for years about Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Football season finally upon us. Imagine watching your favorite team in your new Lifetime man cave, family hangout, or Lifetime's version of a she shed. And now Lifetime is expanding their replacement window division. Make your home energy efficient with their Energy Star rated windows. Enclosures, flooring, and windows to fit any and all budgets. Visit the showroom just off Phillips Highway. Proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Let Lifetime be your home team.
I'm Chris Campione. Auto accidents can leave you feeling lost and overwhelmed. But at Campione Law, we're here to guide you with a personal touch through every step of the process. We don't get paid unless you get paid. CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione, Campione Law.
You don't have to be a football star to get a signing bonus. The team at Republic Services needs your skills, and they're paying up to $5,000 for you to join the roster. You'll be joining a winner. As an essential business, the Republic Services trucks have not stopped rolling with hourly and weekly pay and better benefits and vacation packages than the rest of the league. Driver trainees, $1,000 sign-on bonus. CDL drivers, $3,000. Diesel mechanics, $5,000 bonus. Join the winning team at Republic Services today. Visit republicservices.com.
Equal opportunity employer.
Now, it's time to showcase the Crown Royal Special Teams Player of the Game. Live generously and life will treat you royally.
Cam Little had a colossal performance Sunday for Jacksonville. The teal and black rookie was once again perfect on his field goal tries, including nailing a career-long 59-yarder. His last name may be Little, but when it comes to the clutch factor, he's as great as they come. And he's your Crown Royal Special Teams Player of the Game.
It's Thanksgiving week, and Monahan Jewelers has the best deals in town with up to 40% off the entire store. Thousands of beautiful pieces are all on sale with fantastic prices on our entire inventory, including up to 30% off on GIA certified diamonds. We're your local family jeweler, so come visit us today and on Small Business Saturday for up to 40% off on diamond studs, engagement rings, colored gemstones, our designer brands, custom design, everything. The name you can trust in fine jewelry, Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Hacker here. A couple weeks back, I received an invite. Not just any invite. It was to be the guest speaker at Awaken 180's virtual town hall. Every team member was there. The owner, Paige, my coach, Kate, and what seemed like 100 people from Awaken 180. My surprise? They invited me to stay for the full town hall. They talked client successes, company goals, future plans, you name it. There was nothing to hide. They all had one common goal of how they can help people better. It was amazing to hear, and it was amazing to see how happy and team-oriented everyone was. I mean, I already knew my coach had that mindset, but I thought I had the best one. Nope, they're all the best ones. That's the beauty of being company-led, not a franchise who often only looks at the bottom line. I suppose that's why Awaken 180 is now celebrating 10 years and has helped over 23,000 clients like me, Mike Dempsey, and Matt Hayes. See it firsthand while you're losing weight with the solution for weight loss. Awaken180weightloss.com.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville, and if I know anything about the dudes that listen to 1010, they've got their own list of toys that they'd like to have for Christmas. You've got some of them in your showroom.
We've got all of them. We've got the toys for them. We got the toys for the kids. We got go-karts, dirt bikes, side-by-sides, ATVs, you name it. We've got it, and we are ready for Christmas.
So you can shop for yourself and for your loved ones. It's all happening at Cycles of Jacksonville, online or on Atlantic near Regency.
If your IT, data security, and your office copiers are operating perfectly, you must have hired ABS, Advanced Business Solutions, as your technology partner.
Advanced Business Solutions.
This is Dr. James Perry, Assistant Team Physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jaguars, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Jaguars Hall of Famer Tony Boselli spoke to Pete Prisco during the Jaguars Happy Hour show on what making coaching decisions in season accomplishes. Here was his answer.
Back to the question that you asked, Pete, what does it accomplish? I think the only thing it accomplishes is the question stop.
That's what it accomplishes.
Which is, as you know, of covering this league, can become an utter distraction in the locker room, in the building. Like, everyone asking the same question over and over again. So the only thing you accomplish by making a change mid-year is that question's off the board.
In-season coaching changes can come with lots of controversy, and as of now, it's still a big question mark if and when those will come. I'm Max Fink with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars Update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, your phone call is 13 minutes away. We do it Tuesday nights now at 7 o'clock. Stand by for that. Looking forward to it. Again, I feel a lot of emotion rolling in on this Tuesday. Josh Rero is here. The J Fund is coming up. It'll be on Wednesday, December 4th. We're going to do it from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Always one of the biggest days of the year that we have here at 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Our goal this year is to raise $250,000, and I think we can do it. Josh Rero has been here before. I know that you were diagnosed. First of all, how you doing, Josh? Good to have you back.
I'm good. I'm glad to be here.
Were you 18 now?
Yes, sir.
Gosh, you young guys are growing up. And you were diagnosed, what, three and a half years ago with leukemia?
3.5 years ago, yes, sir.
Take us through the latest. You look good. How you feeling?
I feel great. Everything's been great. I go to my visits every 6 months now. Being 3.5 years out, I think the next part will be a year. Right. So I'll just go see them once a year, and then after that, it's free from there.
The J Fund is incredible. I know, obviously, you've been here in our studio before, but what they do and what they did for yourself and what they do for so many others is really unparalleled here in town.
Definitely. I think for us, for me and my family, all the support that the J Fund provided truly, truly helped us throughout my journey. During the time of my diagnosis, my dad was still in work and my mom was the one sitting in the hospital and taking care of me. So, with a family only having a single income coming in, financial situations got pretty rough. And with the financial support that the J Fund helped out with, they were giving us food cards. They were helping us pay for gas to get there and back from visits, and just being able to take that little bit of financial relief off of my parents while we were going through such a difficult time. And just them being there was truly just amazing.
Take that a step further, if you would, Josh. Take us back to the day that you were diagnosed, and it's every parent's worst fear when their child is diagnosed with something like this. But the immediate reaction, and as well your mom and your dad.
Yeah. So on October of 2018, we went into the hospital, and I got blood work drawn from our local pediatrician. And about a week following up from the initial diagnosis, I kept going back to the doctors for flu-like symptoms, and they kept just telling us it was probably just some viral stuff going around, not to really worry about it too much. And I would say within a week, it just got progressively worse and worse to the point where I was bedbound, losing track of time, just throwing up constantly, couldn't keep any water down. So we went and got blood work drawn. Our pediatrician called and said, hey, your son's white blood cells are off. It could just be a fluke in the system. Don't stress it too much. We're going to send you over to another hospital, go get labs done, and they'll do a full CBC panel, and they'll let you know, what's going on. And within a few hours, my mom was getting a phone call saying that you need to rush your son to the hospital. And they rushed me down to the hospital. They were trying to stick an IV in my arm. I was so severely dehydrated that they were having trouble getting it in. We finally get up to the floor, and they put us on the cancer floor. And my mom immediately was like, why are we here? Like, this makes no sense. And the whole time they kind of just told us, it was a precautionary thing just in case, if it's worst case scenario, at least we're here and everything. So within 24 hours, the doctors were pulling my parents out of the room saying that your son had cancer. And I immediately knew, watching my mom walk in the room, I kind of knew something was wrong. And throughout my whole life, I've always told them, just be straight with me. I don't want you to sugarcoat anything. At the end of the day, it's my life and it's my health. So I need to know what's going on. And that was the day that my mom told me that I had cancer, specifically acute lymphoblastic leukemia. And that day on would go to change my whole entire life. And I battled 2.5 years of cancer treatment. And in February of 2021, I was officially declared cancer-free.
Tremendous. Josh Rero, our guest. Again, the Radiothon's coming up here in just a couple of weeks. It'll be Wednesday, December 4th, always our favorite day of the year. Very emotional. Not all of these stories are success like we have here, thankfully, with Josh Rero. It'll be from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. We're going to ask for $115. If you can donate that, that'll be outstanding. The text goal to 44834. And again, we hope to raise $250,000. You come across as an 18-year-old very positive as far as every day in life. How important was that during your lowest moment to have the positive attitude?
That was everything. Even I always told my parents since day one, even when I got diagnosed, I said I was going to get through it. I said this wasn't going to be the thing that was going to take away my life. And I knew I had so much more ahead of me. And there was a purpose that I was put on this earth. And getting cancer has kind of given me a straight line of knowing what I want to do in life. And I love doing this cancer advocacy. I love spreading the word and letting people know that, cancer. Some cancers are rare and some cancers are common, but at the end of the day, no kid deserves to go through cancer and no parent deserves to bury their child before their child buries them.
Has there been an incident or a few where you got with a young boy or young girl who was really down and your words of wisdom cheered him up?
I think there's been a few instances, but I can't pinpoint one exactly, but there's definitely been a few instances where I've seen some kids, they come in, freshly from treatment, and they're sad. They're going through their own feelings. They're feeling the side effects of going through chemo, and just kind of me being able to be there for them and tell them, they look at me and they see that I'm a cancer survivor and that I was in the same position that they were in, and I'm years out later and I'm doing good. In my senior year of high school, I'm able to drive. I'm going off to college after, and just I feel like in a way I'm that beacon of light for them to know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel and that cancer isn't a final death sentence. There's still something out there.
I love your attitude. No question about it. Well, I mean, now that you're clear and you're past it, you're still involved with the J Fund. Why?
Yes, sir.
Why?
Because the J Fund, they've given so much to me, and I feel like any way that I can, I want to be able to give back to them. They truly came in and they were like a second family to me and my family. When times were hard and life was rough, they were there for us. They host chat events, and I mean, those chat events were getting me out of my shell, and they were allowing me to go be around other kids who are either going through cancer or have been through the same thing that I've been through. So it was kind of like a support system where I could reach out to them and talk to them about what I was going through and get their feedback, and then vice versa.
Fabulous charity. We've been associated with them now for, I think it's 18, perhaps 19 years. They're the best, and I'm glad it's done wonders for you. All right, so you're getting ready to graduate. What are your plans?
So after high school, I'm planning on going off to nursing school. Just all the amazing people that have helped me throughout my cancer journey and all the medical personnel who have been there for me. If there's a way I can give back to that community, then I want to. And I feel as if I become a nurse, then I can kind of relate my situation to other patients. Because I want to work with pediatrics. I want to work with kids. That way I can kind of somehow like have a connection with them.
Yeah, I tell you what, sensational, Josh. You get it. And it's really an honor to sit here and chat with you. Sports fan? Are you a Jags fan or?
I'm a Jags fan when they're doing good.
So you haven't been a Jags fan recently?
Not recently. The last game was kind of rough, but we're trying to hold out.
Yeah, it hasn't been good. I'm open for ideas or suggestions. Anything you can tell us that maybe would make this football team better?
Let's just say it might be time to switch out some players. That's about it.
Yeah, switch out some players. All right, hey, final question for you, Josh. Why is it important for our listeners to be there coming up on Wednesday, December 4th for the J Fund Radiothon?
The reason it's so important is because kids don't deserve to go through what I went through. Getting a cancer diagnosis and just having to see your whole entire family not know what's going to happen down the road and having no idea of whether your child is going to make it or not is not something any parent should have to face. So with the donations that are made to them, they're able to make a difference in the lives of people going through cancer treatment and families going through cancer treatment. And that's why it's so important. That's truly why it's important.
Josh, I'm thrilled for you and your family, and I wish you the best with everything you have that's lined up as far as your future. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
There he is, Josh Rero, ladies and gentlemen. And again, the big event's coming up Wednesday, December 4th. It'll be from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. So I'll close things down on that Wednesday night. I kind of secretly want the Into the Night rabid listeners to really, really fill the coffers from 6 to 8, but that's in a couple of Wednesdays. Coming up next, time to take your phone calls. We do it every Tuesday at 7 o'clock. We'll take them at 641-1010.
Get inside the mind of Jags coach Doug Peterson.
I'd be lying if I said I didn't have butterflies.
Coach Speaks. Fridays at 4:05 on The Franchi Show.
I want to win.
Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. Custom windows and doors on 1010XL. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
When my wrist pain was acting up and I needed help, I took Dan Hickens' advice and headed over to see the experts at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. This is Stuart Moore with the PGA Tour. I highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. Whenever you have a need, they took great care of me. They'll take great care of you.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy. The next time you need orthopedic care, you can rely on our team at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Did you know you can charge the all-new Honda Electric Prologue in the same receptacle as your phone? You don't need these special charging stations at your home. Simply plug in your Honda or your phone. See your local Honda dealer now. We're electrified.
Pick it here for Bowden Eye & Associates, where you'll find Jacksonville's most esteemed eye doctors at each of their locations. After being selected for one of the most competitive ophthalmology fellowships in the world, Dr. Frank Bowden is frequently called upon for his expert opinion. He is currently one of the few cornea and external disease specialists in the area and the founder of Bowden Eye. Visit Bowden Eye & Associates today and experience the difference. Bowden Eye & Associates, keeping the First Coast focused.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hey, David again with Royal Pest Services. TAP Insulation stands for thermal, acoustic, and pest control. Keep your home cool, noise out, and pests dead. Visit RoyalPestServices.com to schedule a free inspection.
If you're looking for custom metalwork, look no further than Superior Fence and Rail.
Whether it's custom railing, shade structures, or custom entry gates, their expert team controls the turnkey process. From CAD design and raw metal to powder-coated finish and expert installation. When you choose Superior Fence and Rail for your custom metal project, you get a project that's, well, superior. So get off the fence and call Superior Fence and Rail today.
It's tune-up time, and Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars, wants to partner with you for a cool summer season. Tune up your AC unit right now so it's running at peak performance when you need it most. Just call 777-4300 and order a tune-up for just $59. Keep your unit humming at optimal level. Log on to FloridaHomeAC.com and take advantage of their savings. Keep cool with Florida Home AC. That's 777-4300.
Universal Roof and Contracting presents the Offensive Player of the Game. Universal Roof and Contracting. The difference is universal.
Brian Thomas Jr. showed no quit on Sunday while in the Motor City. The teal and black wideout recorded 82 yards on 5 receptions, averaging 16 yards per reception. The young rookie was simply everywhere for Jacksonville on the offensive side of the ball and is your Universal Roof and Contracting Offensive Player of the Game.
Break in the savings this fall with Universal Roof and Contracting. Enjoy 15% off all roof repairs and replacements, plus a free wind mitigation inspection. With financing options as low as $115 a month, protecting your home has never been easier. Schedule your free roof inspection today. Call 855-ROOF-HELP. Offer expires November 30th. Protect your home and your wallet.
License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
Hi, I'm Chuck Farah. We know how important it is for you to have a vehicle after you've been injured in a car accident. So when we represent you for your personal injury claim, we'll help you get a rental car from the insurance company while your car is being repaired. And we'll provide this service at no additional fee. If you're hurt and you've got no car, let my team go to work for you. Farah & Farah, protecting you and your family. Call us at 396-5555 or go to farahandfarah.com. Jacksonville.
Ballou here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Jewington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor-outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab House.
Need extra cash for the holidays? Beaches Jewelry and Pawn is always buying guns, musical instruments, surfboards, and tools, and pays cash money. Beaches Jewelry and Pawn in Jacks Beach. Online at beachesjewelryandpawn.com.
If you are an experienced electrician looking for your next big opportunity, look no further than the Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller Electric, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering you the chance to showcase your skills on a grand scale. We believe in rewarding hard work with the best pay, top-notch benefits, and an unbeatable culture where people actually care about each other. Take your career to new heights with Miller Electric Company. Apply today at millercareers.com. Miller Electric, an equal opportunity employer.
Jaguars fans, want to meet some of your favorite players? Coke Florida, Publix Supermarkets, and the Jags are giving you the chance. Join 1010XL at Publix, 170 Village Commons Drive, St. Augustine, Tuesday, November 19th at 5. For autographs, pictures, raffles, and more. Get off the sidelines and get to Publix to grab an ice-cold Coca-Cola, Coke Zero Sugar, or any of your favorite Coca-Cola beverages using Publix digital app. The Jaguars and Coke Florida. There's magic when we cheer together at Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
One of these days, I'm going to be here for it. Jaguars are going to barrel down 95 and then take that hook down Phillips Highway, carrying the Lombardi Trophy. They're only 200 and 278 lifetime. How many years until they actually have a winning record? How many of us will be 6 feet under by the time that happens? I mean, we'd have to put our mathematical skills together. But how many years would you have to go? Let's say,
well, based on math,
11 and 6.
Okay, I was about to say, based on math, they'll never get there.
Yeah.
Let me do that.
11 and 6 for what? The next 30 years? That's plus 5 as far as victories. 30 times 5 is 150. All right. I'm just doing it
give
off
or
the top
take
of my
30
head.
years.
Yeah, give or take 30. That's tough to overcome.
And that's with no losing seasons mixed in.
Yeah. Yeah.
For 30 years, you have to go 11 and 6.
I mean, it happens listen, Detroit has accepted losing. Cleveland has accepted losing. And Detroit may win the Super Bowl this year, but they've been around for 100 years, and they've done squat. All right? There are certain franchises in athletics that are born to lose. Jacksonville just happens to be one of them. I mean, go through the years and years and years and years of mistakes that the Lions have made, the Browns have made. Today, the Jets fired Joe Douglas. The Jets have made. It's not just here. I'm not trying to make you feel better. But I just wish there was a little bit more accountability and that we didn't have to hear we got to clean that up, right? Let's get to you. 6 o'clock, we roll through it till 7, and then we get to your phone calls. That's what I wanted to say. 7 o'clock, we get to your calls. Let's kick it off by going to Rodney. Welcome to Into the Night.
Hey, Rick, how are you?
Good.
Man, I've actually been I've been a big fan of yours. I've actually been listening to you since the AM 600 The Ball days when I was a young guy. But I'm actually up here living in Boston now and, still follow the Jags, still listen to the station. And
oh, cool.
I'm completely disgusted with everything that's going on with the franchise. I felt like Doug Peterson used Mike Caldwell last year as a scapegoat to cover some things up, and we've seen the defense get worse. We've seen Balky with just horrible draft after horrible draft. I mean, he's gotten rid of serviceable players for guys who were less.
Unfortunately, we lost Rodney. That's too bad. Rodney, I lost you, and I know you call from Boston. Again, every Tuesday night at 7 o'clock, we do that. I don't know what happened with the connection there, but we got what we were. That is fair. I mean, the Mike Caldwell situation, and it was bad. It absolutely was bad, but it's a heck of a lot better than what this football team has right now. That's what hurts is just major disappointments. Again, you're not going to get people in my business to admit it, but I thought Ryan Nielsen was really going to work. Just a brief conversation with him, it was pretty infectious. It was like, man, this dude's got it. Remember his opening press conference, just how brilliant it was and everything he said? But maybe it was complicated. We were told he played more man-to-man than anyone, than Trent Baalke, who obviously hired him, said, well, it's really a zone defense. Remember that? Remember just how awkward? It was like, what? We're reading stats here in Atlanta. No one plays more man-to-man than him. And then Trent Baalke said, as well, it's his own defense. So maybe it was just screwed up from the get-go. Thanks, Rodney, calling from Boston. Let's go to Wesley next up.
Hey, Rick.
Hi.
What's up, fellas? First-time caller, long-time listener. I moved out to Arizona at the beginning of the year, thinking that I'd miss a whole bunch of stuff from back home.
Are you there now?
Rooting for the Jaguars. Oh yeah, I live in Arizona right now.
So we're getting calls from Boston and Arizona. When I do national radio, am I doing radio here in Duval for crying out loud?
God bless the internet.
Hey, you're the only reason. You're the only reason that this season has been, somewhat entertaining. I'll just tell you that much.
Well, I wish it was under better circumstances. I wish this team was 9-2 and not 2-9.
No, I totally understand. But I've been hearing a lot from my coworkers out here about how no one wants the Jags job. And I keep singing this from the mountaintops. This is the greatest job in the world to have, is the head coach or the GM of the Jacksonville Jaguars. You have no accountability from your boss. You get to do whatever you want. You don't have to hear from the fans. The media is great to you. And you get to go 2-9 and draft horrible draft picks every single year. This should be the greatest job in the world. And I don't know how people aren't banging down Shad Khan's door wanting to be the head coach of the Jaguars.
Hey, Wesley, thank you very much for listening out there in Arizona. He makes incredibly accurate points.
And your boss is so loyal. Like, so loyal.
There's no doubt.
Unless you kick an employee, you probably won't get fired.
The man pulls up in the town in what is it, a $2 billion ship? Or I don't even know how much it's worth. They don't live here. He's not connected with the people. You don't have to win here. It's a great point. And just imagine if you hire someone and they do win. And I'm not talking about 9-8. Okay? I'm not talking about, this team scored 30 points so far this year in the first quarter. This team is asleep every Sunday. Again, there's no pride. There's no accountability. There's no leadership. There's no alpha dogs. 30 points in the first quarter. They've actually have scored 10 in the last 2 weeks. It's on coaching. Myself and I want to get back to these calls because this is about you. 641-1010. Actually, I have a couple of open lines. I do. I want to get back to you, but just let me say this real quick. Myself included. There's so much on Balky and Peterson and Nielsen and Press Taylor. It's also on these players. This is such a small fraternity. They don't care about winning. They don't. I felt like the team in the 90s cared about winning on a weekly basis. They got blown out early. I was the one who said in 1996 they would never win another game, and they won 8 straight. Okay? I'm so awed that I'll actually admit a massive mistake that I made back in 1996 because I'm not afraid to say I got it wrong. And I'm going to own it. And there's still players to this day that'll mention that to me. They brought it up in the locker room. Local blabbermouth says we're not going to win enough, and they won 8 straight, including into the playoffs. It meant something. Do you think anyone on that roster would care what any one of us says on this radio station? Do you think they could care less? It doesn't mean anything to them. The only thing that means something to them is that paycheck. Todd is next up. He goes into the night. What's up, Todd?
Hey, JJ.
Good
evening. Thank you for taking my call.
Yep.
It's kind of strange about what you had a caller from Boston and one from Arizona. So the gist of my story, I was at the Buffalo game in upstate New York. And, of course, it was very disappointing. But on the way back was the most interesting part. So I had a layover in Charlotte, and a guy says, man, I had my Jacksonville hat on. And the guy says, I never met a Jacksonville Jaguars fan. And I said,
yeah.
I looked at him and I said, well, if you meet 2 of us, you got a better chance of seeing a dinosaur.
Yeah.
And so I asked him,
yeah.
So going back to what I'm saying is it's just very hard. And, management's easy. Leadership is hard. So basically what I'm trying to say is you can manage people all day long and tell them what to do. But when you want an alpha dog and you got a leader that the players want to run through a wall for you, that's the hardest part.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the most frustrating part of being a Jaguars fan. And I've been here almost all my life. So that's what I wanted to say. And it's just tough, too, when you're asking people, like you were saying earlier in your show, times are tough, for us, and including everything else. And you got a guy with a $2 billion yacht downtown. You built a brand new stadium. And then it's just hard to ask people who are, blue-collar workers to come to work and spend your hard-earned money to go to the game.
That's fair. Todd, thanks for getting in. Great story there at
And those
Charlotte
blue-collar
Airport.
guys are the ones paying for that stadium, too.
Yeah.
Don't forget that.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't free.
No. And that's why listen, I believe Shad Khan wants to win. Okay, I believe that. I was in Buffalo, too. And it was a joke, okay? The complete lack of respect that the organization had for us trying to do our job. It was nearly 45 minutes until Doug Peterson came in to talk to the press. Oh, the tiny little press, the soft press, right? We still have a job to do because he was getting grilled by Shad Khan. So the warning signs are there, but Shad obviously doesn't want to pay a guy to just go away, even though it feels like Peterson mailed it in a few weeks ago, right? He's like, forget about it. I'm paying him $500,000 this week during the bye. Make him work. I'm paying $500,000 for him next week before the Houston game. Make him work. Shad doesn't want to just give that money away. This is why this organization needs a conduit between Peterson, Balke, and Shad Khan. Whether it's Tony Baselli, whether it's Paul Posluszny, whether it's Aaron Beasley, Kevin Hardy, whether it's Fred Taylor, I don't care. This organization needs someone who says, Shad, address the fans. Talk to them. They're upset. Did you see the stadium? Did you see all the Green Bay? Now, Green Bay's one thing. The Packers filled it. But Minnesota, I'll be honest with you. I mean, you just told that story about being in Charlotte, and yet a Jaguar I don't see Minnesota Viking fans all over the place. They filled the stadium. You need someone to go to Shad Khan and say, Shad, talk to your people. No one can do that right now. Who's going to do that now over there? And I like the people over there. It's not the public relations job to go to the owner of the organization and say, talk. They got enough stress dealing with a losing operation day in, day out. Can you imagine the grind they're going through?
Like the job of selling tickets there? I couldn't fathom that.
I mean, you need someone who Shad Khan will listen to and respect, who he hires, who he pays a great deal of money just for this reason. Shad, the whole world thought you were going to fire Doug Peterson. You got to announce something. You got to come out and say something. Get with Jim Woodcock, your publicist. Give us something. Don't do your only interview in London, okay? The people don't want you doing your interviews in London. They want it done right here in Jacksonville. They've accepted the London, and it's like, oh, well, watch this. I'm going to talk with Demetrius Harvey of the Florida Times Union. Yeah, let's set that up. We're going to do it in London. But you don't want to do it in London. Do it right here. To these fans who've been loyal for 30 years. I mean, it's, for a brilliant man, it's common sense. And it just doesn't work. It just doesn't. You know, there were years where I was like, well, he bought it for $770 million. It's worth $4 billion. Nah, come on. And people are just saying that. Now all of a sudden it's like, you know what? Maybe it's true. And he gets such a pass because he got the 30-year stadium deal done, right? This team's going nowhere. I've heard so many people say Shad needs to sell this. He's not going to sell this team. Again, he went from $770 million to $4 billion. I know he's worth $11 billion or $12 billion, but I'm guessing that the Jaguars are a pretty big part of that. You know? But I also believe that Shad Khan, with all the businesses that he owns, when things are suffering, when things are bad, he makes changes. He doesn't make changes here. And the reason why he doesn't make changes here is because it's worth $4 billion. If it was worth $750 million after buying it for $770, then I think you'd see him make more changes. But it's worth $4 billion.
Every game, he'd be like living in Jacksonville, making sure that the things would be turned around. You're absolutely right. Because it's such an easy moneymaker. Why would I do anything?
And those tickets, the way that they're dispersed, he gets paid based on
that's the thing
30 teams, right?
So
or is it 30 teams? Yeah, you got 2 in LA, 2 in New Jersey.
Exactly. So a lot of fans, you see it on Twitter, you see it on the text line, and I don't expect you to know this. Why would you? But they say, hey, don't go to the game. That'll hurt him. You know, like that'll show him. He'll be pissed when he's not making money. Dude, every single owner shares all of the revenue of all the ticket sales around the NFL. They don't care, man. Why do you think the owners are so fine with the Jags going and playing in London? Because it's more money for them.
Absolutely it is.
And that they wish the Jags would be in London.
That was the only concern about the vote, which was unanimous. And they showed Shad Khan respect by making it unanimous. But there was others who were like, well, why not put a second team in Chicago? Okay? You still have empty seats here, and now you've got thousands and thousands and thousands of your opponent. And I try to stay away from that because I know it drives the diehards crazy. And the last thing I'm ever going to do is point a finger at you and say, make the adjustment.
Yeah, your team's 2-9, but you guys also need to show up. Yeah. Like, it's tough to say that. I get that.
It's one thing to be it's one thing to lose. I mean, when you lose like you did here and you lose like you did in Buffalo, that's pretty simple. The team is way better. But when you lose 6 games by 5 points or less, that comes down to coaching. That comes down to game planning. That comes down to execution. And it's a bad brand. It hasn't worked. When we come back, let's start with Charles. We'll go to Todd. Todd just hung up. Others, they all hung up. I got wide open lines in Jacksonville. Are you kidding me?
Todd, it's all right.
So, okay, my bad. 641-1010. We do it Tuesday nights from 7 to 8. We'll take your phone calls on the other side.
English is their second language. Their native tongue is teal and black.
Let's go!
Mike Dempsey and Fat Tony bring you Jaguars Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios.
10 to noon on 1010XL.
Do the Garber wiggle, Garber wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, Garber wiggle.
It's the time of year all our customers love. At Garber Auto Mall, every 2024 must go. Take advantage of thousands in discounts on all new Chevy, Buick, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Ford. Visit us in Green Cove Springs or at GarberAutomall.com. And remember, at Garber Auto Mall, there's always a little room for wiggle.
Garber wiggle, Garber wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, Garber wiggle.
Ballou here for Spunez Vision. Why Spunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Spunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Spunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Spunez is fellowship-trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SpunezVision.com today. Here you can see.
Injured in an accident? Have mounting medical bills? Can't work? Don't worry. Zach's got your back. I'm Zach Von Rowan of Von Rowan Law. I will fight for the compensation that you deserve. Set up your free consultation at zachsgotyourback.com.
Googan Nation, it's Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here to tell you this is no dream. The folks at Dreamfinders Homes right now have an unbeatable interest rate for you. You may not think you can afford a Dreamfinders home. Well, think again. Take advantage of a 2.99% year one rate. I said it, 2.99%. 15 Jacksonville communities to choose from. Find that dream house and take advantage of an unbeatable rate. Move now, literally. Dreamfinders Homes, the official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Brackish Vodka, the official vodka of UNF Athletics, 100% made in Jacksonville, is available at all local liquor stores. Visit Browdy's, Total Wine, ABC, Shores, Golden, Zahara's, Golden Ox, and more. Drink our gluten-free San Francisco Spirit award-winning vodka and see why it's the smoothest vodka you can buy. When you drink Brackish Vodka, you support all of our local employees and all the money stays in Jacksonville. Drink Brackish Vodka and live life slightly salty. Proud partner of the Jaguars.
Value or flavor? Price or taste? Why choose when you can get both with everyday deals at Sonny's? Right now, you can get the pork big deal for $10, the pork and rib combo for $12, and all you can eat ribs for just $19.99. Yep, you heard right. All your favorites are now available all day, every day. And that's why it's always Sonny's here. Sonny's Barbecue, local pitmasters since '68.
Googans, Hicken here from my friends at Beaches Dermatology. We all know summer's now gone, but that doesn't mean the sun goes away. It's Florida, right? That said, you still need to protect yourself from that bright sun. Golfing, fishing, weekends at your kid's game, or just taking care of the yard. Protect yourself and your skin. Beaches Dermatology and I want to remind you to wear your sunscreen. It's important. Holidays are also approaching, so take care of that spouse of yours with a gift from Beaches Dermatology. Call today or go online at beachesdermatology.com.
Hey, it's Angela and Brian Wall. How many companies do you know in this day and age that actually want their potential customers to call their competition and get quotes from them?
That's what WindoWorld wants you to do. WindoWorld knows there are other window companies out there, but we also know those other guys. When compared to WindoWorld, they can't offer you the quality at the price that WindoWorld can.
And with WindoWorld, you get the absolute best guarantee there is in the window replacement business.
If anything goes wrong with your new WindoWorld windows, 5 years from now, 10, 15, 50, WindoWorld and I will be there to fix it for you. You get peace of mind with WindoWorld, and to top it off, WindoWorld windows increase the value of your home. So look what you get with WindoWorld. Quality windows, low price, the best guarantee in the business, energy savings, and an increase in the value of your home. A win-win for you.
Call WindowWorld today and get your free in-home estimate, or see them online at windowworldneflorida.com.
WindoWorld. Simply the best for less. Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
Navy Mutual was created by service members for service members, so we know what it means to serve. Our policies have no active duty service restrictions, so you can rest assured that you're covered no matter your duty station, home or abroad. To go even further, we promise that premiums will not be higher for those who serve in dangerous environments, including aviation, diving, or on deployments. Let us help you protect those you love the most. Learn more at NavyMutual.org.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Slow, and I want to talk to you today about having a grateful spirit. As we journey in life, it's so easy to take things for granted, but I want to encourage you to never get tired of thanking God for your blessings. Take time also to thank the people in your life who have and are helping you to become the person you are today. Don't go through life complaining, go through life praising.
To hear more inspirational messages by Reverend Dr. Nicholas Lowe, please visit our website at stjohnthedivine.com.
The best golfing weather is upon us, and the Hidden Hills Golf Club invites you to enjoy your next round of golf with us. Our welcoming atmosphere and love for golf keep our friends coming back. Check us out at hiddenhillsgc.com. You'll be glad you did.
Jaguars fans, want to meet some of your favorite players? Coke Florida, Publix Supermarkets, and the Jags are giving you the chance. Join 1010XL at Publix, 170 Village Commons Drive, St. Augustine, Tuesday, November 19th at 5. For autographs, pictures, raffles, and more. Get off the sidelines and get to Publix to grab an ice-cold Coca-Cola, Coke Zero Sugar, or any of your favorite Coca-Cola beverages using Publix digital app. The Jaguars and Coke Florida. There's magic when we cheer together at Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Let's get back to some calls. We got some calls out of Boston, Arizona. The text line's crazy. Got people listening in Alexandria, Virginia, Minnesota, Wichita, among other places. Of course, right here in Duval. Here's the guy who says, let me find this for you. We should bring back the clown, this time the clown with the mustache. I love it. I'd rather have you do that, dress up, bags on the head, clowns, than not go. I'd rather have you be there. Maybe that, maybe that'll be reported. You know, maybe the major network will pick that up, especially if it's a 52-6 game. I mean, they're looking for anything, and showing folks in the stands with that on, perhaps will move the needle. I don't know. We will find out. Let's go to Charles, who is next up. How you doing, Charles?
Hey, Rick. Thanks for taking my call.
Yep.
One thing, regardless of who is in charge in the off season, we can let ourselves be distracted and become enchanted with that number one Hunter shiny dangly pick hanging there. I believe we ought to trade that and get a few more picks and go after a few guards and some other linemen, because there's not many good ones in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
But to focus on just a cornerback, I'm concerned that we might make some erroneous picks because we seem to have a history of that.
Yeah.
That's just me. I think the wall is the foundation, and doggone it, it's been neglected so long. And that has to be a laser focus in the offseason.
There's no doubt. That's a really good call, and you and I are on the same page. I mean, the only thing I'm going to discuss is offense. You've invested all of this money in Trevor Lawrence. You better get him the right coach, and you now better get him the right offensive line. I don't want to hear that you're getting another corner opposite Tyson Campbell or that you're getting an interior defensive lineman. Let your defense suffer a little bit. You spent on Allen. You spent on Campbell. You're going to have to spend on Trayvon Walker if you're going to bring him back. You got a solid nucleus at linebacker. I would assume that Lloyd is gone. You're going to have to do something with that Aloakon contract, but you got Ventrell Miller. If he can stay healthy, he's a good football player. You got to do something about safety. You don't have any safeties on this team. But to me, you're going to have to get another wide receiver because Christian Kirk is gone. Gabe Davis is not going to work. He's gone for the year. The guy caught 20 balls. The guy looks like an aging, overweight tight end. He doesn't look like a wide receiver. So you got Parker Washington. You got your star, Brian Thomas. You have to get another wide receiver. I have no problem with that. Okay? Offense. You have to protect Trevor Lawrence. That is what this organization has to do. They're going to have a ton of money in free agency. Let me find the number for you before I grab this next call.
I also don't think they'll finish high enough to get Hunter.
Yeah.
Like right now, it looks like, wow, how are they going to win a game? But I just think Trevor will come back, and they'll probably beat the Titans twice and maybe somebody else. And right there, that's, 5 wins? That's enough probably for the 5th pick. And I think Hunter's going to go before that.
Jason,
you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, Jason at overthecap.com has the Jaguars right now a 51-man roster, which he believes is going to be worth $272.5 million. That'll be the going wage, the salary cap number. The Jaguars are $56.5 million as far as cap room. And more is coming because they're going to say goodbye to Christian Kirk and they're going to say goodbye to Gabe Davis. And so Gabe Davis has $24 million guaranteed.
He'll
you
be
probably
back
have to keep
next
him on.
year.
Yeah, you're going to have to keep him
He's going to
around.
have to come back, but Kirk's definitely out.
Josh, you were next up. Welcome. Okay, Josh. And just like that, Josh is gone. We'll take our final break anyway. Why don't we do that? Do it on time. And we do want to grab more calls. Are the rankings?
They're out.
Give them to us.
All right, so this is obviously just, I'll give it to you from like 12 to 1, which doesn't reflect what the bracket will look like.
Right.
So 12 Boise. Well, I'll start at 13 because SMU I feel like has just been, people love to crap on them. So SMU is 13. Actually, BYU is behind SMU, even though they have the same record and BYU beat them. Whatever. It makes no sense. All right. Boise 12. Tennessee 11, Georgia 10, so they didn't jump up that much. Ole Miss 9, Miami 8, Alabama above Miami 7, Notre Dame 6, IU 5, Penn State, Texas, Ohio State, and Oregon. So not too much of a change. Tennessee fell back, not as much as I expected. Like, I thought Tennessee's like out of the playoffs now. That's not a thing yet. So if you look at the actual brackets, Miami goes way up. You know, they're like a number 3 seed. But then Ohio State's the 5 seed. But that game is huge this weekend. But
so who's the fourth bye? Is it Boise?
Let me look real fast.
It's got to be with the Big 12 down.
The Big 12 is BYU.
Yeah.
So Boise's 12 and BYU's 14.
Okay.
So like you said earlier in the show,
boy, losing the Kansas, man, they dropped 8 spots, BYU. I watched that game. It didn't start till 10:30 on Saturday night.
And they had
a chance to win it.
on the verge of losing the last couple weeks, though.
Right.
So it wasn't like this was their one loss out of nowhere. They'd been struggling pretty mightily. And they're only a 2-point favorite at Kansas this week. So watch, they could...
Oh, Kansas State, because they lost to Kansas.
Oh, Arizona State.
Okay.
Kansas play... Colorado is only a 2-point favorite against Kansas.
Dillingham at Arizona State, he did marvelous work with Jordan Travis.
Oh, dude.
At
he's
FSU.
A great up-and-coming coach. I think he's still in his 30s. All right, so here it is. Oregon's number 1. They would be playing the winner of Bama, Notre Dame. Whew. Yeah.
Okay.
Texas, number 2.
Yep.
Texas will be playing the winner of IU versus Ole Miss. Miami, number 3, would be playing the winner of Georgia, Penn State. Georgia and Penn State in December in Happy Valley. That's
unbelievable.
Juicy. Yeah.
It'd be just insane.
And then, like we just said, Boise would get that last bye. They're number 4, and they will play the winner of BYU, Ohio State.
As far as the rankings, the top 5 teams remain the same. Oregon, Ohio State, Texas, Penn State, Indiana. Notre Dame moved up 2 spots to 6. Bama moves up 3 spots to 7. Miami with the bye moves up a spot. I like how, the Associated Press has Georgia ahead of Mississippi. I like how the college football playoff rankings did this.
Yeah.
They took into consideration that Mississippi beat Georgia 2 weeks ago. Right. So they should be there. And so they got it right here. And congratulations. Mississippi 8, Mississippi 9, Georgia 10, Tennessee 11, Boise 12. So there you go. Those are the rankings. Pretty incredible. Boise State, number 12, they would get the 4th bye as a conference champion because they're ahead of everyone right now in the Big 12. You look at Big 12 teams, you got BYU at 14, Colorado at 16. What does Colorado have left? Let me look at this before
they
we
got
get into
Kansas this week.
At Kansas and then Oklahoma State. 2 very winnable games. Deion Sanders making a lot of money. I don't think Deion's going to return to Colorado next year. I just don't see it. I know he's off to a pretty good recruiting class. There's been a lot of talk about how he's going to just murder the transfer portal. Why do I believe that the Dallas Cowboys are going to go after either Deion Sanders or Bill Belichick? Our boy Rafael Esparza said that like 2 months ago, and I laughed at him.
And it's gaining steam. I see it everywhere now.
Right?
I see that Cowboys Deion story everywhere now.
It is. And maybe that's what you need nowadays. I don't know. Here we are talking about how lifeless the Jaguars are, how they have no alphas, they have no leaders. I mean, I don't care how good of a coach you are. You got to know how to push these buttons. Maybe a former player will work. Great players traditionally haven't worked. I mean, go look at Ted Williams, right? Go look at, it
happens a lot less in football.
Trying to think, work with Mike Ditka, but who else did it work? I can think of the Mike Singletaries and the Bart Starrs and all the great players where it didn't work. Baseball. Maybe the best was Joe Torre, or maybe it was Lou Piniella, right?
How was Pete Rose as a manager?
Very average.
Okay.
Very average. Frank Robinson was a manager for the Cleveland Indians. It didn't work. Yogi Berra was a manager for the New York Mets. It didn't work. Larry Bird tried being a head coach. Magic Johnson tried. Larry Bird was actually pretty successful. Magic Johnson gave it a shot. There's something about coaching that's different. And I think a lot of it comes in the fact that you're so good and you were so good that you expect the others to be as good.
And your work ethic was probably so much better than everybody else.
Yeah, I remember Mickey Andrews telling me straight up, no one worked harder than Deion Sanders.
Right.
How about all those Florida State fans? Oh, we don't want Deion. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you trying to tell me you're a Florida State fan right now and you would not bend over backwards to bring Deion Sanders to Tallahassee? Can you imagine the light? Can you imagine the bolt of electricity?
Oh, my God.
That Deion Sanders would bring I'm burning my Deion jersey.
I bet a lot of these guys that are jumping to Florida wouldn't be jumping to Florida. I mean, I feel like Norvell's lost like 3 guys in the last 2 days to Napier.
He has. He lost the lineman today.
Right. Quarterback the day before.
All right, let's put our final thoughts on this one. We'll do that on the other side. Again, tomorrow night, Thursday night, with you 6 to 8.
When you don't want to wait till tomorrow for analysis of today's game, get it 2 hours after the final whistle. Hacker Leon and Coach Campo bring you the window world of Northeast Florida 5th quarter. Presented by Von Rowan Lawn and Hurricane Grill and Wings.
David Lane here, and once again, I'm happy to share news of my success with back and knee surgeries at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist. Whatever it is that's bothering you, take it from me. Simply set an appointment today at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist and let them help you get back to normal life. I'm certainly glad I did.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
This is Hayes Carline for SkyLife Elite. Are you tired of canceled flights, unruly passengers, and layovers? Call my friends at SkyLife Elite. Consider using private charter flights for your next adventure. Yes, you can afford it. Make your own schedule. Fly direct. Drive your car to Craig Airport and get directly on the plane. SkyLife Elite can make that happen. Call 490-9332. Go to flyskylife.com and find them on social media. Fly SkyLife Elite, North Florida's premier private air charter.
Find the best-kept secret in Jax at the Moss Fire Grill. From $5 margaritas to made-from-scratch Southwest cuisine, find yourself relaxing or celebrating at Jacksonville's first-ever rooftop. Visit Moss Fire Grill in Riverside.
See you on the rooftop.
Ready to sharpen your aim or find the perfect firearm? Come to St. Nicholas Guns and Rage. With a huge selection of guns, ammo, and accessories, plus Jacksonville's best indoor range for every skill level. They've got everything you need to hit your target. Whether you're a pro or just starting out, their friendly experts will guide you every step of the way at 4630 Blanding Boulevard or online at stnickguns.com. St. Nicholas Gun and Range. Gear up, shoot a lot, shoot better.
Spend lunchtime with the ladies.
Hey, where's your sense of adventure?
They don't cook, but they serve up spicy sports talk.
Sure, it's on the menu.
Helmets and heels.
That is a meal.
Switched on by First Coast Lighting and Fans on 1010XL.
When mice and rats show up in your space, they can be a real pain. You need them out fast before they have time to multiply. Terminix knows how to shut down rodents, and they'll keep them from coming back to wreak more havoc. When rodents show up, so do we. Don't live with a rodent problem. Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online. That's TERMINIX.com. TERMINIX.com.
Our slogan, Know Before You Blow, applies to more than just DUI cases. Hi, I'm attorney Lee Lockett of Lockett Law. Battery charges can result in jail time and criminal convictions too, so know before you blow a gasket and hit a loved one or a stranger. Drug crimes like possession of marijuana and cocaine will land you in cuffs too, so know before you blow. In a boating under the influence case, you also have the option to blow or not to blow. So know your options. Know before you blow. Go to knowbeforeyouBlow.com now. Offices Jacksonville.
Jeff Lagerman here. Now that football season is here, make sure your ride can get to that tailgate or away game safely and dependably. You can trust the ASE certified professionals at any of the 27 independently owned Napa Auto Care Centers and the quality Napa parts they use. Napa Auto Care Centers can handle everything: oil changes, air conditioning, brakes, engines, transmissions, and more. Napa Auto Care offers a nationwide 24-month, 24,000-mile peace-of-mind warranty on those repairs. Find a Napa Auto Care Center near you. JacksNapaAutoCareGroup.com.
This is Greg Huntington, a.k.a. The Mangler. I'm on the winning team at Waste Management. WM is the largest sustainability company in North America. If your business needs sustainable environmental services for waste removal and recycling collection, then you can count on the industry leader of WM to deliver results. Your services will be completed in a timely, safe, and eco-friendly manner. Go to WM.com/Duval. That's WM.com/Duval and get signed up today. If anyone can talk trash, it's The Mangler.
Don't make a bad call when it comes to servicing your home. Cooling off with a baby pool in the house to fix your air conditioning problem is a bad call. Trying to catch a wave in a flooded bathroom is a bad call. Using a burning electrical panel to make s'mores is a bad call. The next time something goes wrong, make a good call to Donovan.
Whether you need air, electric, or plumbing service, Donovan is always a good call. It's why we've been trusted by our customers for almost 40 years and why you can trust us to deliver fast, reliable service to your home. Donovan, always a good call.
Visit DonovanAC.com today.
Prosser here. I've been telling you for years about Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Football season finally upon us. Imagine watching your favorite team in your new Lifetime man cave, family hangout, or Lifetime's version of a she shed. And now Lifetime is expanding their replacement window division. Make your home energy efficient with their Energy Star rated windows. Enclosures, flooring, and windows to fit any and all budgets. Visit the showroom just off Phillips Highway. Proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Let Lifetime be your home team.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Dempsey, and I just cannot say enough good things about my friends at Pella Windows and Doors. They have the highest quality products, the strongest limited warranties in the industry, and they just flat out look amazing. But don't just take my word for it. Consumer Reports still has Pella rated #1 in all 3 major window categories, so why not go with the best? Call them today or visit the Pella showroom and be sure to ask about the latest hurricane and impact-resistant windows. That's Pella Windows and Doors on Phillips Highway, and tell them Mike sent you.
Need a piece of jewelry that won't break your wallet? Beaches Jewelry and Pawn has tons of reconditioned jewelry, always inspected by their jeweler. Beaches Jewelry and Pawn in Jacks Beach. Online at beachesjewelryandpawn.com.
It's football season, and Uber Eats is dropping undefeated deals on all your game day favorites. This week, score buy one, get one free fries from McDonald's, only on Uber Eats. Craving even more? We've got you covered with game day deals on pizza, burgers, tacos, and more all season long. Uber Eats, official on-demand food delivery partner of the NFL. Order now. Terms, taxes, and fees apply. See app for details.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
All right, 2 huge firings today. One in New Jersey, one in Boston. Joe Douglas out, general manager of the Jets. 30-64, no winning seasons, no playoffs, shown the door. And how about this one? Jim Montgomery of the Boston Bruins had a record of 140-40-23. Boston blown out last night by the Columbus Blue Jackets 5-1, fired today. I know it's not fair to compare Jacksonville to the city of Boston and New York, New Jersey, but again, it just reeks of franchises that don't accept losing and continuously try to build it up again compared to what you as fans are dealing with right here in town.
Remember when Marty
awful.
Schottenheimer was 14-2?
Yeah. Couldn't win a playoff
They
game.
fired his ass.
Yeah, because he couldn't win the playoffs.
They'd build him a statue here.
Mm-hmm. We did have one transaction today. What the heck did I do with that? I think it was Robinson and Davis. That was officially it. Keelan Robinson added to the active roster today, and Gabe Davis was placed on the season-ending injured reserve. And, you know, I hate to say it this way, but I have started to peek ahead, not only to some things that are draft-related, but also looking at future contracts. And this was a really, really bad one for Gabriel Davis. I mean, it's a terrible contract. He got $24 million guaranteed. He got a 3-year, $39 million deal. He has a base salary, or he has a cap figure next year of $67 or $6,700,000. His dead cap money, if you were to cut him, pre-June 1st, $20 million. Okay, let's see how much it changes post-June 1st. It goes to 13.7.
He'll be back.
So you have to keep him around for at least one more season. when you get to 2026, the final year of his deal, you have a dead cap money of $6,600,000, which I want to say was basically what Zay Jones had this year. And I thought they would wait post June 1st to say goodbye to him because they would have saved about $5 million, but they cut him anyway prior to that. So I guess $5 million. In some instances, $5 million doesn't mean anything to Shad Khan. You can trade away Cam Robinson and $7 million. Doesn't mean anything to Shad Khan. You can get rid of Roy Robertson Harris, eat $10.3 million. Doesn't mean anything to Shad Khan. But, getting rid of Doug Peterson with 7 weeks to go, that does mean something to him. It's weird how all that works. If you were to get rid of Gabe Davis post June 1st, in 2026, it would only cost you $2,200,000. So that is probably the direction that this that this organization is going to go. It looks like he's going to have to be here for at least one more year. 0882 says, Blue Rick, Doug and Trevor's relationship appears to be toxic. If Doug and Press aren't fired at the end of the year, is it possible Trevor can ask to be released from his contract and then hasn't even kicked it up? Anything is possible, but I mean, the $55 million hasn't even kicked in yet. I
would say highly unlikely.
Listen, you've heard, I've been saying it forever. I think Trent Baalke survives all of this. Now, if they keep losing games 52-6, that's going to wane. But there are, I don't want to mention his name yet because I don't know if he's gone public with it. I had a conversation with him actually in was it Buffalo? It was actually in Philadelphia, where he thinks Peterson could survive all of this.
I was gonna just ask you, could you imagine a world where Peterson stays but Baalke's out, or do you think it's just like both are out or both stay?
No, I mean you need to bulldozer the entire thing, and you need fresh voices. But if you were forced to pick one, without hesitation, to me, it's Peterson.
Right. I was just wondering maybe if Peterson somehow convinces Shad to let him stay, and Baalke was the issue, and look at what I'm working with here.
I think Peterson, if he called plays, would still be pretty good. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, and don't get me wrong, I certainly would fire him. But if Press Taylor wasn't around, and it was Doug Peterson calling plays, and it was not Doug Peterson who brought in Ryan Nielsen, right? That was Trent Baalke as the defensive coordinator. Doug would have full autonomy on who the coaches should be. I think Doug Peterson working with Trevor Lawrence, I think there's a chance there. Now, I don't know where that relationship stands. I've heard all of the rumors like you have. I've also heard Doug in every one of his press conferences where it feels like if he's throwing anyone under the bus, it's Trevor. And I do think a little bit of that is it's quarterback to quarterback. Peterson played the position, albeit he was a backup. And there should be more pressure on Lawrence. This is year 4 now. And he's being paid for what he is supposed to be. And he hasn't made as many mistakes this year as he certainly made a year ago, but it hasn't been a great year for Trevor Lawrence. I'd love to be a fly on the wall. I do believe this. Unlike the Urban Meyer out with Josh Lambeau and what really happened to that money, was he paid money? Was he not paid money? My guess would be there was an agreement and something was signed where he's not allowed to disclose any of it. That's why that's just gone away. I think this deal leaks. I believe at the end of the road here, we're going to have some really juicy stuff that comes our way, that this happened, that happened. It may not happen immediately. Remember how many years it took for the actual truth to come out with Jalen Ramsey in that conversation, how we all assumed it was Coughlin, and then we found out years later on a podcast from Jalen that it was actually Dave Caldwell? I think we're going to find out what really was the major problem? How much was it bad between Balky and Peterson, and if it was Peterson and Lawrence? Or perhaps not. Maybe this team's just not playing well. I don't know. But I have a feeling we're going to find out. That'll do it for us tonight. Thank you. Tomorrow night, John Osher on the Jags. Some college football coming up tomorrow night as well. We'll also go to Vegas, check in with Rafael Esparza, get the latest on the money. For JJ LaSalva, I am Rick Ballou. Talk with you tomorrow at 6.
Someone's going to win a tailgate combo pack from Southern Steer Butcher.